Hi, I'm Julius. I'm a student at St. Cloud State University, and I'm currently going into chemistry and general science education. My project is looking at characterizing student interactions during collaborative activity. Now, collaborative learning has many benefits and relies on students needing to communicate and interact with each other. This means communication is a key part of collaborative learning. While communication and science are not often associated together, the next generation science standards are specific in wanting science classrooms to teach communication skills, as being able to talk about your findings, knowledge, justifications, and thinking is critical. Now, communication itself is a very complicated subject, and with that, there are many different ways you can approach looking at students' interactions. In this case, we chose to look at it through the lens of communicative approaches, which have 4 types: interactive dialogic, non-interactive dialogic, interactive authoritative, and non-interactive authoritative. Interactive dialogic is a collaborative effort towards the answer where all ideas and suggestions are taken into consideration. Non-interactive dialogic is where little to no collaboration occurs and one person takes in the other people's thoughts into finding the answer. Interactive authoritative is where there is a collaborative effort towards finding the answer, but the dialogue is controlled by one person while only focusing on their answer and thoughts. And non-interactive authoritative is when little to no collaboration occurs and only one person's thoughts and ideas are taken into consideration for the answer. The 2 questions we focused in on for this project are: what is the nature of questions asked and feedback provided in the groups, and what is the nature of students' interactions within the groups? As I said before, we use communicative approaches as a lens to look at the interactions within the groups. We also examined the questions and feedback the students gave, and we identified 5 types of questions and 3 types of feedback. For the questions, they were confirmatory, clarification, surface level, probing, and guiding. Confirmatory questions were questions that looked for a basic response, such as yes or no. Clarification were questions that looked to clarify a statement, question, or idea. Surface level questions were very basic chemistry questions. Probing questions were questions looking to pull out what someone knows. And guiding questions were questions trying to guide the discussion or bring people back on track. For feedback, the 3 types were confirmatory, clarification, and surface level explanation. Confirmatory feedback were very basic responses such as yes, no, I don't know. Clarification feedback was helping clarify a statement, idea, or question. And surface level or explanation feedback was the chemistry-based explanation. So the feedback provided that was based in chemistry knowledge and understanding. For the analysis, we used episodes, which were sequential groups of statements, and the boundaries for these were defined by the start of a question to the start of another question. So what we found was that for the questions, 58.6% were confirmatory. For the feedback, we found 76% was confirmatory. And for the communicative approaches, we found that 23 of the 46 groups that we had used interactive dialogic, which meant that they had good discussions and were taking in others' ideas and suggestions. Overall, what we found for the implications is that we really need to start working on teaching students how to approach group learning, as it's not a skill that they inherently know, and we need to be working on teaching those skills to help make sure they get the most out of group learning.